Hey everybody, Kartik Subramaniam over at ADHI Schools. Welcome to our podcast. Got your email here. Recent student asks, Kartik, just passed the real estate exam, took your crash course, passed the first time. Hey, congratulations, man. That's good. I'm interviewing with 2 different real estate offices, and I can't seem to make sense of the commission splits. And he sends me a breakdown of what each office is offering him. Now, a couple things here, because I don't want to get specific to this particular former student's question, but if you are a brand new real estate agent, or you're an experienced agent, and you're thinking about making a switch from one company to another, a couple things I would take into account as you calculate your commission split. First, just because somebody offers you, let's say, an 80-20 split. By the way, if you're not familiar with how our real estate business works, when you go work at a company, whether it's Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Keller Williams, how these companies make money is every time you sell a house, the commission check comes in, and the broker takes a big blade, cuts a piece out of your commission check and eats it. And that's how the broker makes money. How much that broker is going to keep out of every check is, of course, something that you're going to want to ask. Now, a lot of brokers, let's say, will offer you, I'll make something up, let's say an 80-20 commission split. Now, by the way, when I first started in real estate, I know I sound like an old man telling you war stories like this, but when I first started in real estate, typically how it would work is that the real estate office would keep, let's say, 50%, and they'd keep you, or you'd get to keep, I should say, 50% of the commission. And if you got really good, you'd go up to, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, and it would maybe roll back in terms of the commission split. Today, there's so many real estate companies that have sprung up out of the ground that there's so many different brokers to work for that you could be a brand new real estate agent. You could be a horrible salesperson. You could be so bad, you couldn't sell ice water to a dying man in hell. You could be so bad if you owned a funeral parlor, no one would die. And they'll offer you 70-30, 75-25, maybe even 80-20 from the gate. So it's important to remember that just because somebody's offering you, let's say 80-20, that does not really mean that you're going to get 80-20. For example, most large franchises, again, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, they'll charge you what's called an off-the-top fee. What that means is before your commission is even calculated, that 80-20, before you even get 80-20, between 5 and 7% of your commission gets taken right off the top. That's why it's called an off-the-top fee. So let's say that you had a $10,000 commission check. Let me get out my calculator here. Shut off this Tinder. It's really slowing my phone down here. Let me open up my calculator. Now, let's say it's a $10,000 commission check and there's a 7% off the top fee. That's $700 gone right then and there. So, and that generally goes to the franchisor, right? Coldwell Banker in New Jersey, Keller Williams in Austin, some portion of that, whether it's 5, 6, 7%, gets sent right off the top. So now your $10,000 commission is now $9,300. Now, some brokers will charge you an additional fee. Let's say some brokers will charge you like a scanning fee, where the broker charges you, $100 to scan your file and give you a PDF of your whole transaction. They might charge you an errors and omissions insurance fee, a couple $100 off every deal for professional liability insurance. They may charge you desk fees every month to work there, regardless of whether you sell something or not. So let's say your 10K is down to $9,300 off the top. Then you're on an 80-20 split. Now you get $74.40. Now, let's say there's a $200 errors and omissions insurance fee. That's $72.40. Let's say there's another $250 scanning fee for, to make your paper file into a PDF. Now, all of a sudden, you're at $69.90. So the big question here is, I don't want to go through all the possibilities of what your company may charge you to work there, but the key thing to remember is that just because somebody says 80-20 or 70-30 or 60-40, whatever it is, remember there's typically other charges that are charged to the individual salesperson before your commission split is even calculated. You're going to want to know what those things are before you sign with a company. But one quick thing I'd say, I wouldn't be so focused on the money. I know that seems counterintuitive, right? We're all in business to make a profit. But particularly if you're a newer agent, been in the business, a year and a half or a year or 6 months, you're just getting started, you've closed no deals or you've only closed 1 or 2 deals. The key thing is the training, right? The training that you get is the most important thing as you start your career in our real estate business. Don't be worried about the money. Once you get the training and you know how to get clients, how to prospect, how to lead follow-up, how to fill out contracts, you know how to run a business in real estate, you'll be able to take those skills and go damn near wherever you want. So don't be so caught up in the money. It'll come. Especially, remember, our real estate business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you're trying to build a career over 3, 5, 7, 10, 20 years, don't worry about the commission splits to start. Just worry about getting trained. Worry about getting your bearings so that you can create your own future. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Wow. What's up, man? What? Yeah. By the way, the guy that records my podcast, my good friend Chris, I said, hope you enjoyed this podcast. He started laughing uncontrollably, like, why would anybody enjoy this podcast? Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram, and we'll catch you on the next video.